Welcome back for another episode of Civility Wins, the Family Law Edition. I'm your host, Kristen Goss, founder and owner of KWG, Family Legal and Mediation Services. We're your knowledgeable, warm, and gracious attorneys. We help spouses divorce with civility, creating a legacy for those they love most. And today I have two friends, esteemed colleagues, Ashley Robinson, marketing guru, as well as Adam Rossen, criminal defense attorney, marketing person as well. And we're going to have a good conversation. It's going to be quick, but we'll just get into it.
Let's go.
So,
yeah, I'm excited.
Yes. Thank you for coming, by the way.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
your time.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yes. So, the question of the day, being marketing as a theme. Just so you know, a little backstory, the reason why I started the podcast was to spread the word about the collaborative law process. No, it's not an adjective, even though it can be. But what is that? A lot of people don't know about it, and so I wanted to spread the word. But as an attorney, I can speak for myself, very bad at marketing sometimes, and it's important to make sure that people know and get the message out of it. So having you on as our marketing guru, Ashley, just a quick tip that you can provide for attorneys like myself who are bad at marketing.
Yeah, I bad is probably a strong word, but we were talking before. It definitely just seems to kind of go against what you all were trained to do, and then running your practice and running your business. Marketing does seem to kind of tug and pull you in another direction, right? Mm-hmm. So something that we're talking to our clients a lot about is identify who your client avatar is. Mm-hmm. Who are you speaking to? Right? So run every marketing question you have through the filter of who is my client? Are they listening to podcasts? Are they going to be at that event? I recently had a question of, should I sponsor something in this, like a local Catholic magazine? Well, maybe. Is your client there? Mm-hmm. Right? So run every marketing decision through the lens of my client avatar and where they make buying decisions. You know your client better than I'll ever know your client. So that's one thing I would say. And then the second thing I would say is think about marketing as a strategy. It's probably the biggest missed opportunity I see in someone like Adam who's so great at marketing. Mm-hmm. I think what makes a lawyer great at marketing is they really look at it as a whole. And not one marketing channel can fill the lead in the pipeline for your firm. It's really got to be looked at as a strategy. The best example we use with our clients would be working out and getting healthy. I think we could all agree that sleeping is very important, but it's not going to be the thing that gets you, if you're trying to lose 150 pounds. You probably also need to drink water, you need to go to the gym, you need to change your diet. It's many things. Mm-hmm. So that would be the second thing I would say is think about your marketing as a strategy, and it's going to be multiple and many different pieces together to target that ideal client avatar.
Okay. Thank you. That was great.
Yeah,
Adam, do you have anything to chime in on?
Yeah, I do. I think, first of all, it's really important for lawyers to know and understand what do they want. Mm-hmm. Who are they and what do they want? You want to be authentic. You want to stay true to yourself. But how involved do they want to be? Do they want to be like me, where now, after doing this for so long, I've stepped out of production, meaning I'm not directly handling cases anymore, and more of the face and marketing and strategic vision of the firm? Or do they still want to be that great lawyer and maybe, and outsource and have great real conversations with their marketing team, the vendor, whatever vendors they use, and be able to discuss and say, well, this is my persona. We have to be authentic to who I am. Maybe I'm this trial warrior and you guys handle it all. But what I want is more cases, and I want to actually handle more cases, right? Mm-hmm. Versus me, I want our firm to grow, and there's a difference between that. Mm-hmm. So I think that's very important. You really have to understand that. And actually, to go back with what you said about strategy, it's so important. And so I'll give you a quick little story. About 3 years ago, we got hit by one of the Google algorithms, and I realized that it was my fault because what I did is I made a lot of smart tactical decisions over maybe a 5 to 7 year period that got me quick wins, but it was not part of a comprehensive strategy. Yeah. And then the algorithm changed, and I'm like, wait a minute, this was me. I come back from a conference. Ooh, let's do this little tweak. Works. Come back from another conference. Let's do this little tweak. It works. But there was we were lacking on having the real comprehensive digital SEO strategy. So we reflected back, we changed some things. And you can have multiple strategies within you. Of course, you can have your digital strategy, you can have your referral strategy as pieces of the overall strategy. So right on with that, but definitely understand the difference between tactics and strategy. There's a big difference.
Yeah, that's great.
That sound words that a lot of attorneys don't think about. Strategy being different from tactics. And I think you said something important, Adam, because I could speak for myself and you've probably heard this as an attorney. We sometimes have a hard time stepping away.
Yes.
Because we went to law school, we have to be the end all be all. So we have to be involved in the day to day. So we think, right? We have to be the marketing person if we have our own firm. You don't have to. So I think that what you said is really important for attorneys like myself.
What do you want?
Yeah, what do you want?
And kill the ego. Perfection is the enemy. Perfection, right? We're, as lawyers, we're drilled in, well, I think a certain type of person generally goes to law school to begin with, somebody who's had success everywhere they've been, right? When you try hard, you get good grades, you win, right? And we're used to that. And then the law school really hammers at home, these are all the ways that you can get disbarred if you're not perfect, if you make a mistake, right? And so we're trained in that way. And that's the wrong way to go about to grow any business and be a marketer. You have to be able to say 80%, 90% is good enough. You have to make it scalable. So in our firm, we used to say perfection is the standard, and Ashley, me and Manny, and Manny and I had a talk maybe 2 years ago where we said, no, we're going with the Vince Lombardi quote. And I know you're an athlete, right?
Yep.
And it's, we chase perfection and we catch excellence.
There you go.
And that's what we want now. But also understand sometimes it's just the minimum viable product, the MVP. Get it out, go, iterate, make it better.
Yeah.
It's not the end of the world.
Yeah. I agree.
Not.
What is the end of the world is not doing anything.
Yes.
Right? When it comes to marketing. And I meet so many lawyers who just have the paralysis of, well, I don't know what to go. I don't know which way to go. Find a few vendors or one vendor you really trust and go. When it comes to marketing, it's changing every day. So just go, start doing things, ensure that you've got people that you trust who are working with that strategy. To your point, great point of there's an overall comprehensive growth strategy. Within that, there's a digital marketing strategy, there's a referral strategy, there's a networking strategy. So within that, have people you can trust and go, because the paralysis of not making any decision because you're waiting for it to be perfect is the lawyers that we talk to every day who said, I've been in practice for 12 years. I've never crossed the 7-figure mark. And that is disheartening because we meet so many successful lawyers and we have so many clients who are making the 7 and 8 figures that they want to make because it's the inaction that's causing them to just stay stuck where they're at.
I always think back to when the first iPhone came out. For anybody who's old enough to remember, you go on YouTube and take a look. But the very first iPhone that came out in 2007 there was no app store and there was no copy and paste functionality that at that time was still basic to Palm Pilots, basic to Blackberries. They didn't even have copy, cut, and paste on the first one, but they got it out to market. It was revolutionary, and imagine if they waited a whole another year to build the app store and everything else, right? But people forget. I remember because I'm old enough, but people either don't know or forget, and so I'm always thinking about that as far as minimum viable product. First iPhone was junk, but it was still revolutionary, right? So just go with it.
Yeah, bringing me back to AI. That's
hot topic,
there, right?
Yeah,
another day.
Yeah,
but I appreciate both of you for the insight, and so the point is growth. How do we grow? Yeah. Marketing is part of it, and so we want to spread the word in our different areas. And thank you again for joining us.